All right, thanks, guys. Thank you all for joining us today. You know what? It's 1 o'clock. Let's go ahead and get started. My name is Sean Moss with Down Payment Resource. We have with us in the background Keith, Veronica, and Mel, and they're going to be answering questions as we go. So we encourage you to keep this interactive. If you have questions or you're curious about anything or you need confirmation about anything, then use the Zoom Q&A feature. It's a lot easier to track than the chat. The chat gets busy with other stuff. But if you'll use the Zoom Q&A feature and post your questions as we go, our team will be in the background answering those, and we'll save some time at the end for a bit of extra live Q&A. So today, we are going to talk about growing your first-time homebuyer business and specifically doing so with our Down Payment Connect tool, increasing your leads, growing your purchase pipeline, educating more buyers or prospective buyers about all of the possibilities and the programs that are out there to help them expedite their journey to home ownership. Many of you have Down Payment Connect for free already, and we will clarify how you get that. But we also have a subscription version for those that don't, but want these opportunities or functionalities for your own marketing. So again, I'm Sean Moss. Our team is in the background. Thank you all for joining us today. We're going to have a really fun time showing you how your peers around the country are using Down Payment Connect, and in particular, how they are educating consumers about down payment assistance opportunities and starting new conversations. So before we get started, a little bit about us at Down Payment Resource. We've been around for 16 years now, tracking and monitoring all of the homebuyer assistance programs across the country. We have a database of all of these programs across the country and a matching engine to help identify opportunities that are available for your clients. We do integrate into MLS property listing data. We'll show you who our MLS partners are in a few moments and again at the end, because if you are a member of one of those MLS partners, you actually already have Down Payment Connect for free. Down Payment Connect specifically is a lead generation and consumer education tool that helps agents, real estate agents, and loan officers connect buyers with down payment assistance. So today we have real estate agents and loan officers with us. So we're going to try to speak to both of you, given your domain and your role and your expectations. But ultimately, we are here to help all of you connect home buyers to the down payment help they need. Today, we're going to be talking about briefly the state of down payment assistance and the impact of those programs. We'll talk briefly about the first-time homebuyer market opportunity that we see. And then most of this webinar is going to be about educating buyers about down payment requirements and solutions and using Down Payment Connect to enhance your marketing and expand your reach. In order to show you how to do that, we're going to show you literally dozens of really cool examples from your peers, real estate agents and loan officers around the country, and how they are engaging first-time homebuyers. And honestly, not just first-time homebuyers, but aspiring or prospective buyers in general, even if they currently or recently owned a home. But let's move on. So current state of homebuyer assistance programs, what's out there? This and maybe the next slide are kind of the one recap from our DPA 101 webinar. In that separate webinar, we discuss the nature and the nuances and the differences and the commonalities of all these different program types in detail. Today, though, we want to get to the marketing, the fun part, and we want to focus on Down Payment Connect. But just to reiterate, there are a number of different types of homebuyer assistance programs. There are obviously down payment programs or DPAs, down payment assistance. Those programs offer funds that can sometimes be used for closing costs, prepaids, more recently, mortgage insurance costs, interest rate buy downs, and so forth. And those DPAs represent about 74% of all available programs. And within the category of DPA or down payment assistance, most of them are deferred loans, not grants, but deferred loans. Some of them, more than half, are forgivable. And then you also do have some grants out there and some second mortgages, repayable second mortgages as well. And I'm watching the chat. Just want to say hello to Raul. We're going to show some examples of your Down Payment Connect usage from the past, and would love for you to weigh in. And also, if any of the rest of you are using Down Payment Connect as we go, send us a link in the chat and let us pull it up live. We're happy to do that. That would be great. All right, but anyway, so overview of home buyer assistance programs. Mortgage credit certificates, those are tax credits. We track those as well. They are not available in every state, but where they are available, they're excellent opportunities to add additional value to consumers and long-term value. Additional programs like housing choice vouchers, match savings programs, and so forth, we track those as well. And also the affordable first mortgage programs that are available typically from your housing finance agencies. So that's just a quick overview, but again, we have our DPA 101 webinar where we cover all of this in a lot more detail. But those are the things, those are the programs, the opportunities we're talking about as we go here. Now, just to be clear, our audience is nationwide here from all over the country. There is not a single market or county or city in the country where there isn't some form of homebuyer assistance available, because every state has a state housing finance agency, at least one, if not, maybe two, or sometimes three in a few states. Those programs are available statewide, and the income limits and the purchase price limits in each market are market adjusted and based on the median home prices and incomes in those markets. So in California, in New York City, in South Florida, we see much higher income limits for these programs and much higher purchase price limits than in the Midwest, for example. So these programs are everywhere. Doesn't matter if you're high cost, low cost, urban, rural, coastal, inland. There are programs available in every market, and their limits, their thresholds are market adjusted to reflect your market. Now, some recent trends that we've been seeing with these programs: demand for down payment assistance is through the roof. I'm sure you are all seeing and hearing and feeling that. We have also seen, especially over the last 3 or 4 years in particular, down payment assistance program providers, the nonprofits, the housing authorities, the state housing agencies, and so forth, they continue to enhance their programs with higher assistance amounts, more dollars for help, essentially, higher income limits, higher purchase price limits, all of which is to help keep up with rising home prices and incomes, quite frankly. And they are expanding the eligible uses of their funds, meaning, I just mentioned that, allowing some of those DPA programs to help cover mortgage insurance costs, help cover homebuyer education courses, to help cover interest rate buy downs, and so forth. We're also seeing more and more programs expand their inventory options, opening up the door to manufactured homes, co-ops, 2, 3, and 4 unit properties, and so forth. Essentially expanding, excuse me, expanding the available inventory that can be purchased with a down payment assistance program. And then we have also seen quarter over quarter, every quarter going back several years, when we publish our homeownership program index, which we do every quarter, we have seen a net increase in the number of programs every quarter for several years now. There are just more programs coming to market, and 82, 83% of all of these programs are funded and available at any given time. We take a snapshot of that number every quarter as well, and that has been super consistent for a very long time. Some of these programs are seasonal, many are not, but essentially the vast majority of them at any given time are funded and available. All of this is to say down payment assistance is still available. These programs are not going away. And I'm sure you're seeing more and more articles, content, and attention on affordability blockers or obstacles and solutions like down payment assistance. So that's why we want to get into how can we approach consumers. Speaking of, we know that aspiring home buyers, especially first-time home buyers, they want to stop renting. And we keep hearing this in survey after survey. It was millennials for a while. Now we're talking about the next generation. We know that they're trying to save for a home. We know that a lot of them doubt they qualify or don't think they have enough money saved up. We also know that a lot of people think they need 20% down and view the down payment as their biggest barrier to home ownership. To drive home that point, this is from a study that honestly was 5 or 6 years ago by the Urban Institute called Barriers to Accessing Homeownership. But the responses, the data, the feedback, the mindset of the first-time homebuyer is still absolutely just as relevant today. And we commonly see numbers just like this and trends just like this, even up to very recent articles, content, news, and so forth. Part of that survey, or sorry, part of that study included a survey of, at the time, millennial renters, under 40, I believe, at the time, and they were renters. And when asked what they thought the biggest barrier to home ownership was, 68% of those renters said that it was the down payment. No surprise, right? When asked how much they thought they had to have as a down payment or in down payment in order to pursue home ownership or to purchase a home, 65% of them thought that they had to have 15% or 20% or more as a down payment. Now, we all know that that's not true, right? But we are all practitioners and experienced and knowledgeable in this industry. That's not the problem, though. The problem is the buyers that we're trying to convince to talk to us and to pursue home ownership, they think they have to have 20% down. And in addition to that, when those same renters in the study were surveyed and asked, were they familiar with low down payment programs, mortgage programs, 76% said they had little or no familiarity with those programs. That didn't mean down payment assistance. That meant, did you know you can get an FHA mortgage with 3.5% down, a conventional loan with 3% down, 5% down? Did you know if you're a qualified veteran, you might qualify for 100% LTV mortgage? Did you know that if you're buying an eligible rural property, you could get 100% financing? That was the question. And the answer was resoundingly no, I didn't know that. So when you put all this together, it becomes obvious that home buyers are looking for guidance, not just navigating the home buying process, but getting pre-approved for a mortgage and understanding both down payment requirements. What do I actually need? What do I have to pursue home ownership or to even just have a conversation? But also accessing down payment solutions, down payment assistance programs that can help bring home ownership forward, expedite that opportunity. And then, of course, we're still in a very competitive market with limited inventory, super high competition. They need help and guidance winning their bids on these properties. And we're not just talking to real estate agents here, we're talking to loan officers too. When we do another webinar of ours called Those Darn DPAs, we address a lot of myths and misperceptions about DPAs. But one of the ones that we address is that sellers don't want to accept offers that include or indicate the presence of a down payment assistance from the buyer. Okay, that's an opportunity for loan officers to get on the phone and call the listing agent who represents the seller and tell them, hey, I do these DPAs all day long. I qualified them. They're a qualified buyer. Doesn't matter to me if they're putting down 20% or they're using a DPA program. I got them qualified. I know the DPA program. I know the timeline. I know the expectations, and I will properly set them for everybody so that we close on time. So bearing that in mind, like I said earlier, we're talking to agents and loan officers here, trying to speak the language of both of you. So how do we connect buyers to down payment help? I want to start by providing you with this list of our MLS partners. If you are a member, a real estate agent member of one of these MLSs, you already have Down Payment Connect for free. And in just a moment, I'm going to show you how to get to it. But we do have a subscription version available for anyone who is not a real estate agent member of one of these MLSs. So I want to go through this list real quick. I'll do it fast. And if you hear your MLS or you see them on the screen, you already have Down Payment Connect. You can start this right now. You can log into your MLS and you can post your Down Payment Connect link on Facebook before we get off of here and share that with us and maybe even get a lead. So California Regional, Stellar in Florida, Real MLS, Jacksonville, Florida, MLS PIN in the Northeast out of Massachusetts, HAR in Houston, FMLS in Atlanta, CVR in Richmond, Virginia, North Star in the Twin Cities, Heartland in Kansas City, Northwest in Seattle, RealComp in Detroit, Lansing in Michigan, Mybor in Indianapolis, Space Coast in Florida, One Key in New York, Austin in Texas, Greater Alabama in Birmingham, Sabor, San Antonio, and Canopy in Charlotte. If you're a member of any one of those MLSs, you have Down Payment Connect for free. I can't show you all of those different MLS dashboards, but here are a couple of examples of what to look for. In your MLS dashboard or your MLS home screen, look for a down payment resource button. When you click it, it will take you to your down payment resource dashboard. The first thing waiting for you on that dashboard will be your Down Payment Connect link unique to you. Don't use the one on the screen. That's a demo link for me, but yours will be waiting for you there, unique to you. And right below that, you see that green button that says Marketing Resources. We also provide you with graphics, social media images, customizable flyers, video tutorials, access to a Facebook group with 13,000 real estate agents and loan officers around the country sharing DPA knowledge and best practices and networking that we're going to talk about later. But you have tons of content to help you out. I'll show you some of this live later. But Down Payment Connect is there for you to engage and educate new buyers, offer them a path to down payment help, let them do that search, generate leads for yourself, and enhance your marketing with that kind of content and opportunity. Again, free for members of our MLS partners on that list I just showed you. If you want to subscribe, it's $24 a month for a real estate agent. There's a loan officer version with some additional features for you. That's $39 a month if you don't already have it for free through one of our MLS partners. There's the URL, and we just posted it in the chat a moment ago. Now, this allows a buyer to complete a search for available down payment assistance or other home buyer programs where they want to purchase a home, which turn into leads for you, enabling you to tap into new and growth markets, run digital marketing campaigns in creative new ways. And for lenders, loan officers, you also get details of all the programs in your market, and you can control which ones show up in your search because we know that your company may only participate in certain programs. Now, are you paying for leads? No. Whether you have Down Payment Connect for free or you are subscribing to it, I gave you the prices earlier. That's per state per month. So if you're a multi-state real estate agent, then obviously it would be, the fee times two. But you're not paying for leads. You're subscribing to the tool or you have it for free. The leads you generate are yours. The page, the landing page is yours. It is unique to you and yours alone. And nobody else gets those leads. They are yours and yours alone. No one else is copied. That data is not sold or resold elsewhere. So that's how Down Payment Connect works. I want to show you how some of your peers are using the tool, but let me pause for a moment because I want to show you if you did subscribe to Down Payment Connect, or for you MLS members, your dashboard looks much like this. Now, this is mine. This is my little demo account, but your URL will be here and your marketing resources link will be here. That marketing resources page gives you graphics, gives you more graphics, social media images. You can download any of these. You're going to see a lot of these used in the examples we're about to start showing you here from your peers around the country. Customizable flyers, you can download them, edit the bottom right. I'll download one here and show you. So we've built these out so that you can place your information on the right side here and use these as takeaways, digital email content, and so forth. And then there are some other things here. I'm going to talk about our Facebook group later, access to reports, video tutorials. And I know I scrolled through that pretty fast, but Mel, perhaps we can provide a link to the page there. So let's continue on. So you get the link and all you do is put it out to consumers and you let them search for down payment programs where they want to buy a home. So the rest of this webinar is going to be us showing you examples of how real estate agents and loan officers all over the country have done exactly that. They have taken their Down Payment Connect link and they have pushed it out on social media, on email, on blogs, on their website, and so forth. And they bubbled up because they look good. They attract traffic. They generate leads. The agent or LO reached out to us and said, hey, look what I did. That's how they got here. So that's what we're going to do now. The rest of this is just offering you ideas to help you weave down payment assistance into your marketing content and how to leverage or present Down Payment Connect to aspiring buyers. So I'm going to start with some simple ones. And by the way, I'm going to start first with some screenshots from various examples around the web and social media and so forth. But then I actually have just as many or more to show you live on their websites to give you some additional context into what some of these people are actually doing with Down Payment Connect and with the topic of down payment assistance. But let's start here. Super simple. Brian, on his homepage, under his bio, has a quick blurb about down payment assistance, a couple of sentences, nothing fancy, right? And a click here button under that. And there's also a graphic out to the left. Click here, or the down payment money is available graphic. Both of those take the consumer to his Down Payment Connect page. Didn't require a lot of web work or anything. And to that point, Susan here in Atlanta has done the same thing. She has embedded the Down Payment Connect search experience into a page on her website. So the consumer does the search, but they never actually leave her site. They're just doing it nested or iframed within a page on her site. Similarly, Angela here added down payment assistance to her website navigation menu. You can see at the top of the page, that's kind of, it's got a darker gray background. That's her website navigation menu. And then that just redirects to a separate page that she built on her site to, again, iframe or embed or nest the Down Payment Connect search form into that page on her site. So a couple super easy, low-hanging fruit examples, right? None of those are particularly difficult to do. Here, and I'm going to show you this one live because there's more to this page, but this is a team in Seattle. They built a page under advice for buyers on their website that is called Down Payment Assistance and is obviously dedicated to, as you can see here, educating the consumer about these programs, offering a little bit more educational content than just a link. And that's an interesting idea, and we're going to look at a few more like that. Here we have a team in Richmond, Virginia, that they've done something similar to that Seattle team. Under Guide to Buying a Home at the top of their website, we'll look at this one live as well in a minute. They actually have a lot of educational content here. They have video. They have several hooks, links to their Down Payment Connect page to try to get the consumer into their Down Payment Connect search. And video itself is a great idea too. We'll look at a few more examples of video, but leverage video. So here, Raul is actually on this webinar. Raul, I saw you join. Thanks for joining us today. Great to see you. Raul created a checklist, three-piece or three-part checklist for new clients. And Raul, weigh in the chat if I'm misrepresenting anything here. But the idea was, what do I do? What do I expect from a new client? So I'll ask everyone, what is the homework that you give a new client? What are the first couple things they're expected to do after you first meet them, ingest their contact info, have that first conversation, and so forth? So what Raul created was a three-part checklist here. Find out what you can afford, explore down payment options, get with a loan officer, get pre-approved, and then we're going to go look at a home. So for all of you, especially real estate agents, are you including that conversation about their available cash to close and down payment assistance options to support that when you're having those upfront conversations? And then as we move on, email signature. So here we have a loan officer, and in their email signature, they have all the things you would expect, contact info. This is an LO, so we have an apply now button to apply for a mortgage. But at the bottom of the email signature is that down payment graphic. Down payment money is available. See if you're eligible. So any email that Sal sends out to anybody has that graphic, which is a link to his Down Payment Connect page in his email signature. Somebody might see it because they're on a marketing drip campaign for that loan officer, but maybe they're not looking to buy or anything right now, but they know someone, or they know someone whose son or daughter is looking to buy. and they see that down payment graphic and think, oh, my friend, I know they've got a recent graduate or whatever that wants to buy a home. Let me forward this on. So anyway, just another way of expanding your exposure and making sure that your clients and prospective clients, one, know that these programs exist, and two, know that you can help them pursue those opportunities. Social media, ads, campaigns. This is Raul again, broker in Texas, also on the webinar with us. One of the things he did early on was create a drip campaign with some of the top questions he was getting from clients, some of the questions that he felt needed to be answered. One part of that campaign was when researching home loans, what's the best approach to look for down payment and closing costs? This is the top right, the top post. Great idea. And what are some of the other questions that you hear a lot from your clients? We're going to look at a couple more examples of this sort of, idea here. But then on the bottom left, Marilyn in Indianapolis, she used a couple of very simple calls to action, simple language to create Facebook ads in this case. But also you can see some of the content she was putting out. Many first-time homebuyers qualify for down payment money. See if you qualify, and let's get shopping for your new home. 2 sentences, super simple, right? And then offer your down payment connect link with that. I have some other great Facebook and LinkedIn examples for you coming up here live in just a moment. Relatable social media content. So I'm going to show you both of these live actually because we really like them. But relate to your clients. What are they thinking? On the left here, we have an agent in California who's sort of cracking a joke about the home buying process. Saving for a house feels like climbing the Half Dome at Yosemite Park. But wait, down payment assistance programs can be your secret weapon. Contact us to learn more. He also offers a link to his Down Payment Connect page. That's creative. It's fun. It's engaging, injecting humor, right? And he's a frequent poster too. We'll look at more of his examples in a moment. On the right side, in Charlotte, Janina has a home listing, and she starts this post with, if you're looking to buy a new home but struggling to come up with a down payment, we have a solution for you. Our home offering, this listing, comes with down payment assistance that can help make your dream of home ownership a reality. Through this program, you may be eligible for a grant, a loan, or other assistance to help you with the down payment. Contact me. Let's talk. That's great. What a great post. You're broadcasting the listing, so you're getting eyeballs on the listing. You're broadcasting the availability of these programs. You've paired the two together, and you're illustrating opportunity that prospective buyers didn't know about, likely didn't know about. This is creative too. So this is an agent who created signs, and you can sort of read the sign. I know the wrapping might kind of mess up the text there, but it says, this home qualifies for down payment assistance programs. Do you? Love it. That's a great, simple call to action. They've got a down payment graphic, QR code. Somebody's driving by, looking at the house, scan the code, and do the search on Megan's Down Payment Connect page. Love it. Great idea. Very, very creative, boots on the ground, gain some visibility. And everybody else, by the way, that drives by that property and sees that sign is going to become aware of these programs. Here we have an agent in the Twin Cities. It's actually a team in the Twin Cities. And there's a couple things that we like to point out here. This is one of my favorite examples in this whole webinar. This team, first of all, is co-marketing with their mortgage partner. This is a real estate team co-marketing on Facebook with their mortgage partner. Great idea. Pair up. If you've got a loan officer partner that you know and trust does these DPA programs well, co-market. What I really love about this, though, is the post. We cut off the pictures, but they got permission to share the pictures. But this team helped a buyer named Jasmine purchase her first home and got her $12,000 in down payment and closing cost assistance. That's a great post. That's a great marketing idea. But think about what they're actually doing. They've got prospective buyers following them on social media, right? And maybe other agents, competitors, and peers too. But for all of the consumers who are monitoring this team on social media, they've just been told that Jasmine, one of their neighbors, one of their peers, just bought their first home with this team and that mortgage company. and got $12,000 for down payment help, they're going to think, oh, well, maybe I can do that too. Maybe that's a good reason for me to reach out to this team, get pre-qualified with their lender partner, and have a deeper conversation about home ownership. So tell consumers what you just did for their neighbor, what you just did for their peer. Love it. This is actually that same team in the Twin Cities. Couple things to point out here too. The main video on the page, how to find a lender that offers down payment assistance. To be clear, this is not a lender doing the video. This is a real estate agent, but they are paired up with lenders that they know and trust to process, close DPA loans on time, help everyone meet expectations, no delays, and so forth. So they're happy to make that introduction. Do you have that loan officer partner, or do you have a few of those? And we'll talk more about that later. But also look at the right side. We mentioned video earlier. We also mentioned kind of Raul's kind of Q&A approach. What kind of questions are you getting a lot? Answer them, address them. Raul did it in Facebook posts. These guys are doing it in videos. They're 1-minute videos. One's in a kitchen, one's in a hallway, one's in the corner of a room. Not Hollywood productions, right? And they don't need to be, but they're asking and answering common questions they get from past clients to help address those and inform future clients, including how to access and explore down payment assistance. So again, I'm going to pause here for a moment. We're giving you a ton of ideas, and we're barely through it. We have a ton more to show you. Think about how you can utilize some of these. Not all of them, right? I mean, these are 20, 25 different people whose ideas we're showing you. Pick one or two and roll with it. Maybe one of the simpler ones we showed up front. Just add a link on your website navigation menu. Start putting together some video content that you can leverage long term. But what among these ideas can you utilize, can you adapt to your own marketing? Where are you marketing? Where do you have a following? Where do you have a captive audience? All right, so let's continue. Social media, Instagram. Here are a couple of examples. Both of these, I believe, are loan officers. So on the left side, we have John. Good post. Are you looking to buy a home but worried you don't have enough down payment? Run a search on our tool, see what you qualify for. On the right side, Bo, looking to buy a home, get connected to my down payment resource. Stop second guessing yourself and don't leave money on the table. What a great call to action. Click here to see if you qualify and contact me today. And by the way, you can add your Down Payment Connect link in your LinkedIn bio, your Instagram bio. You can use a tool like Linktree. I'll show you that in a sec. TikTok. Yes, TikTok. There are influencers out there on TikTok bringing in droves of business, both in real estate and finance. So here's a really cool example. This is a quick video, how to buy your first home in Texas using down payment assistance. Great dialogue, great conversation. Leverage your captive audience and tell the story of the opportunities they are not taking advantage of. LinkedIn, Linktree, here's Carlton. Who says your furry friend can't have a say in your home search? Creative, right? Inject humor. This is great. I have other examples from Carlton as well. Let me help you find the perfect home for you and your four-legged family member, and let's find your down payment options. And again, you can use Linktree or a tool like that to add your Down Payment Connect link in your bio on LinkedIn, Instagram, and elsewhere. All right, so let's take a live look at more examples. I showed you a lot already, and I know we're going through this maybe a little bit fast, but we have so many ideas that we want to show you that we sort of opted to bring them all to you rather than sacrifice some and slow it down. But conceptually, there's really just a few things going on. Your website, keep it simple. On the buy menu, this team in Florida has a link to down payment assistance. Now, I want to show you the actual consumer workflow. So when I click on that link, I go to that agent or loan officer, if you're a loan officer, but I go to that person's website, Brandy's Down Payment Connect page. On that page, I start my search for down payment assistance. So, okay, I want to buy in Orlando. Maybe I have an idea of price. Maybe I want to enter my household size, whether I've owned a home. No, I've never owned a home. And then we will account for how those factors influence or affect their eligibility for down payment programs. But what the consumer does is click on this Get Details button to find out, okay, there's 21 programs. The best of them could get me up to $70,000, and Brandy can help me with this. So then they fill out this form. We haven't shown them the list of programs, right? Or any contact information for the program providers or anybody else. They're gonna fill out that form, and when they click submit here, that's gonna pull up a thank you page. And as soon as they submit that form, an email goes to you with your lead from that consumer's completed search on your Down Payment Connect page. Only once they submit this page do we send that consumer an email, and we give them your contact information and the list of the names of the programs they found in their search, but no links or other details. And then that's it, we're out. We let them know who you are and what programs they found only after they completed the search. You get the lead, that's your lead. We don't touch them any further. Nobody else has their information. That is the consumer experience. So let's look at a few more examples. We know that we have loan officers on here too. So here's a lending team on their website. Again, navigation menu. All they did was just add the Down Payment Connect link to their website navigation. If we look at this in Oklahoma City, we see a great landing page, splash page. This could be, you could direct someone from a Facebook post or a LinkedIn post to a page like this. It looks almost like an ad. It's a standalone page. They direct people off of social media here, I believe. But there's a little bit of education. First of all, yes, we can help. There are down payment programs available. How do we figure this out? Click the link below, answer some questions, and we'll be in touch. Super simple, right? And that's it. There's nothing else on this page. There's no content. There's no navigation or anything. All right, then this is the team in Sacramento. And by the way, when we started this webinar, we clarified there are programs in every market in the country. And that's part of what we're trying to illustrate, is that this works everywhere. We've looked at Seattle, we've looked at Florida, we've looked at Texas, we've looked at Charlotte, we've looked in Virginia. Now we're looking in Sacramento, California. These programs are everywhere. And you can use Down Payment Connect to engage prospective buyers everywhere. So here, I'm going to come back to this, but you'll notice this link in their website navigation menu. This team is entirely dedicated to helping first-time home buyers in Sacramento. Sacramento's newest homeowners, turning Sacramentans into first-time home buyers. And then on their website, as part of that mission, they have this link to their Down Payment Connect tool. The consumer can start looking for down payment help in Sacramento and connect to, in this case, Keisha. And then here we have a mortgage broker. They have a page under loan options for down payment assistance. We scroll down, we get a little bit of educational content. So we've looked at that low-hanging fruit added to your website navigation path. Now let's look at another thing going on, another thing we're seeing here, educational content. So not much to this, right? Super simple, couple sentences, keeps it easy, fast read, 2 options here to click on their Down Payment Connect button. And then we have that team in Seattle that I showed you earlier, advice for buyers, down payment assistance. We start to see a bit more educational content. We also start to see the form embedded in that same page. So now we're not just linking to it, we've nested it inside the page. They're just going to stay on your website. They're going to do the whole thing right here. It's going to scroll down. We're going to type in, they're in Washington, we'll type in Seattle. We start our search and we're still on their webpage, right? But that educational content gives the consumer some context and some insight along the way. Here's that team in Richmond that we talked about earlier. Guide to buying a home, down payment assistance. So they produced this video. We have some video content you can use, but they produced their own video. And then we have a lot of educational content. Did you know the average benefit? You can get into a house faster. This is a link to Down Payment Connect. This is a link to Down Payment Connect. This graphic is a link to Down Payment Connect. But look at all the educational content along the way. Now, we're not saying that you need to write out all the educational content, make it market specific. We're just saying this is a good idea that works. And it's just one of many, but this is a chance to offer more of that insight, more of that context to a prospective client and better educate them so that when they do go through Down Payment Connect and reach out to you, they're a little bit more informed about their opportunity and a little bit more incentivized or even invigorated to continue this conversation with you and to do their part, right? To start gathering up the docs and to start taking home ownership seriously. I'm going to give you an example of what some loan officers do. Here we have get a quote, apply now, or down payment money is available. Often when a consumer is thinking about getting pre-qualified for financing, they might think, as we saw earlier, they need 20% down, or they've got a student loan and that's going to kill the deal, or some other misperception. What we're saying here is there's another path for us to have a conversation, but also illustrate new opportunities you may not have known about to help get around those obstacles or misperceptions that you have. Here we have another loan officer, apply, contact, book a call. If we scroll down, we see the bio. We can learn about purchase. We can learn about refi. We can learn about down payment assistance. That's great. And guess what? This is a link to. Here, super simple. This loan officer, apply now or contact us, or maybe I'm not ready to do that. Maybe I don't think home ownership is within reach. Oh, but wait, there's down payment assistance out there. Well, I didn't know that. Let me click on this and figure out what might be available to me specifically. All right, now, those are all kind of engaging people on your website. I'm going to move to social media here for a few minutes. We looked at a different post from this agent in California, but here's a simple one. Find out today if you qualify for down payment assistance. Click here. There's his Down Payment Connect link. Buying a home is possible. Find out how. We're here to help. Great. Super simple, right? But if we move on, get a little more clever, wondering if you can qualify for assistance to buy a home. Click the link below, fill out the questions, see all the available programs. Join us this Saturday for the workshop for this housing initiative live in person. That's great. He's bringing people in. He's drawing them to an event where he's going to get the chance to have that conversation. Anybody who did a Down Payment Connect search on that link before they show up to that event is going to have seen some information about down payment help and be a little bit more queued up for that conversation. Here, same guy. We saw this earlier, right? Saving for a house. Love this. Inject humor. And it's simple too, right? It didn't take but a minute to type this out and think it through. Saving for a house feels like climbing the half dome at Yosemite Park. But wait, you have a secret weapon, down payment assistance. Reach out for more. Love it. Here we have an agent in Michigan, Twin Cities. Sorry, Twin Cities. This video is actually a bit longer. So we saw those website examples of kind of writing out longer form educational content. Well, Cuccelli here has taken the same approach with the video. So she's got a 9-minute video here talking about first-time home buyers, down payment assistance, and so forth. And in the video description, she has also added her Down Payment Connect link. So again, where is your captive audience? What messages are you, I'm going to rephrase that question actually. Where's your captive audience? What messages are you not sending to them, given everything that you've heard today? Are you talking about down payment requirements? Are you talking about down payment assistance programs that can be solutions to any misperceptions or blockers they perceive from a down payment perspective? And how are you doing it? Are you doing it through video, through educational content? Are you at least giving them a link that lets them know that, hey, these programs even exist, and then let them do their search? All right, one more on Facebook. We showed you this, but I just wanted to kind of zoom in here in case you couldn't really see the whole thing in a screenshot. But this is that agent in Charlotte. Price improvement. Okay, we're attracting attention there. If you're looking to buy a home but struggling with the down payment, we have a solution for you. And then we said, okay, they're broadcasting their listing, right? Eyeballs on the listing. But they're coupling that with down payment assistance programs that can help make homeownership a reality. They show some pictures. They even have a down payment graphic here. And then you've kind of told the story of the property and its eligibility for down payment help all at once. Love it. Great idea. I'm going to show you two more on LinkedIn. We saw a couple posts from Carlton earlier. Looking to leave a legacy for your family. With down payment assistance, you can help your children achieve their dream of home ownership. Click more to take the next, or learn, contact me, use down payment, take the next step, whatever your call to action is, right? But that's great. He's marketing to a new audience, those whose children might be interested in pursuing a home. And then same agent here, ready to help your young adult take the next step. Okay, there's a market there, right? We talked about growth markets earlier, tapping into growth markets. He's letting peers know that there are programs out there that could help their children, their up and coming children, next generation of home buyers, achieve home ownership. So I know that was a lot, but I hope that was helpful. We want to kind of round things out here with some maybe next steps and best practices for you. If we can put a couple of links in the chat, DPR team, to the marketing resources and the DPR subscription page, and also to Facebook Insiders, because I'm going to get to that here in just a moment. But recalling or just sort of regrouping from after all that, start more conversations. That's essentially what we're trying to do. If we take the last 45 minutes and boil it down to one thing, we are trying to start more conversations. Add the link to Down Payment Connect in your email signature. Market eligible properties with program information. That was one of the last examples we just looked at. Leverage Facebook and your audience there to post about down payment assistance availability. Offer your link. Reach out to people on Instagram. Do you have a TikTok audience? What are you doing on LinkedIn? Do you have a down payment assistance or first-time homebuyer section on your website? What kind of content is there? Can you refine it? Can you extend it? Leverage video. They don't have to be Hollywood productions, but there's value in both quick-hitting video and there's value in more long-form, educational kind of explainer videos. Host events. Bring people to events and give them a reason to show up. That reason being the availability of down payment assistance. Drip campaigns, Q&A, like we saw with Raul and the Barker Hedges team in the Twin Cities. What are the common questions you keep hearing? Curate all of that into a drip campaign and give yourself some long-term content to keep people engaged, and you can start introducing down payment assistance there. But leverage the experts. Real estate agents, the most common question we get is, how do I find loan officers who can help me with these programs? Look for lenders who offer these programs, want that business from you, and are good at DPA. Where will you find them? I'll go ahead and answer that now. Talk to your existing loan officer partners. Maybe they offer DPA and it just hadn't come up with you before. Talk to your broker and talk to your peer agents. Maybe they have referrals to loan officers they've worked with who do a really good job with down payment assistance. Talk to the program providers. They know who the lenders are that are originating their down payment assistance program. They know who puts together good applications and closes on time. So those are just a few places. Also, we'll talk about one more, our Down Payment Insiders group on Facebook in just a moment. But with regard to the experts that can help you along the way, talk to the DPA providers about training opportunities, teaching opportunities, networking opportunities. Also, as we saw with the agent who was posting listings with down payment assistance information on social media, highlight information about your local DPA programs in your marketing content. And then we like this idea. Most of your buyers, if they're using down payment assistance, are going to have to complete a home buyer education class as part of qualifying for that DPA program. Try attending that class or a portion of that class with your buyer. See what the message is, see what the content is, and see if or how you can adapt any of that into your own marketing. And one thing that's not here, but loan officers, You must let agents know that you offer these programs and that you want that business and that you are good at DPA. They need to know who those loan officers are. So, with that, we have had this down payment insiders group going for several years now. It's really taken off in the last couple years. It started off as mostly for real estate agents, sharing knowledge about DPAs, working with these programs, working with first-time home buyers. What were the obstacles and blockers, and what solutions did they come up with? Marketing best practices, closing stories, and so forth. That has evolved into a lot of loan officers now joining this group. There are even some DPA providers, the program providers. There are some housing counselors in there. And there is a lot of networking happening in this group. Agents seeking loan officers meeting that demand with their expertise and their experience with DPA programs. So we encourage you to join. We encourage you to listen in. We encourage you to teach if you feel compelled to do so. We encourage you to network, but join the Down Payment Insiders group and leverage it for what you can get out of it. And then I want to reiterate, after all of this, if you are a member of one of these MLS partners, you do already have Down Payment Connect for free. If you are a member of a different MLS not represented here, reach out to us. We're happy to talk to your MLS, of course, and bring down payment resource to life within your MLS for you and your peers. And if you are a loan officer, we do work with lenders, but if you're a loan officer and you're interested in Down Payment Connect, then you can go to downpaymentresource.com/DPC, which was just posted in chat again, and you can subscribe there. I'm going to leave you guys with this. Back to Raul. We love you, Raul. Thanks for joining today. Amber in Florida started out, stellar MLS, by the way, started out in the industry and found that a lot of her peers were her clients, but they didn't know much about down payment requirements or the journey to home ownership. And so she took it upon herself to learn about, a small few of the DPA programs available in her market. And she sought and partnered with a couple of loan officers that were good at those programs and would help her with that business. And she built her business successfully, working with first-time home buyers and dealing with down payment assistance programs. Raul, we've seen several examples of some of the creative things that he's done. After a career in the military, got into real estate, was working with veterans, and thought there had to be a better way to help veterans into homes. Down payment assistance programs became a part of that mantra and a part of his process, his business model. So with those examples in mind of how to use down payment assistance to grow your business, to change the nature of your partnerships, your agent loan officer partnerships, and to help more buyers, we hope that was useful. We hope that you found some value in that. We hope that you are able to take some of those ideas and make them your own and weave them into your marketing. I've put our contact information up here should you have any questions afterwards. I know I can see the Q&A has been super busy. I've been sort of monitoring chat. I know that's been busy. We're going to take a few minutes here to answer as many questions as we can live. So Mel, Keith, and Veronica, anybody else, are there any themes that we need to address first, questions that were asked multiple times?
Yeah. Hey, Sean, this is Mel. We've had some awesome questions, and I'll say hi to Raul as well. Thank you so much for joining us. And Raul actually has a question in Q&A, Sean. He specifically joined today to ask about Down Payment Connect, so I thought we could hit that. But before you do that, we always have a lot of questions about if you're going to get a copy of the recording or the slides. We will absolutely send that out. You should probably have that in your inboxes tomorrow, so you'll get a copy of the recording and the slides. And then a common theme that I noticed, and I'll let the rest of the team chime in as well if they had anything additional, but a lot of people who are members of our MLS partners were asking specifically how to find their Down Payment Connect link. And Sean, if you want to, add to this, the information I've been providing in a simple way to explain it, because all MLSs look a little different, is if you are logged into your MLS, and make sure that you're logged into your MLS, From your MLS homepage, you should see a link to down payment resource. Clicking on that link then takes you to our DPR dashboard, where you will get all of our tools and resources, including your personalized link. So again, if you have any questions finding it or need help with that, we're always here to help. But that's kind of a simple way to let everybody know. I saw that question a lot today, Sean.
Okay, good deal. And I do want to point out, I just saw this pop up in chat. Who's that? Valerie, good question. She said, does down payment assistance help with agent commission? We are monitoring that possibility. As of right now, no, but I can tell you that DPA providers around the country are thinking about how they might address that potentiality should it come to be. It may not be directly paying agent commissions through a down payment assistance program, but it could be some alternative, like they will increase the assistance amount to offset the burden placed by commission. There's still a lot of dust to settle there, so I'm going to leave it at that for now. But that is a trend that we're monitoring, and we've been asked that a lot in the last few months. So wanted to address that. And I also want to say too, before I go back to the team for Q&A, if you're using Down Payment Connect, we want to know your story. We want to, I mean, like now in chat with your contact info, or reach out to us at info@downpaymentresource.com. We want to see how you are using it. You saw some really cool stuff today. We'd love for you to be one of those examples, but we'd love that testimonial. We'd love that story. Maybe get some PR around it. Work with your MLS or your association and broadcast that story. So we're going to look to the chat afterwards, the chat log, and reach out to those of you that are putting your contact info in. We'll also send the recording to everybody. But please tell us your story, show us how you're using Down Payment Connect, and let us know how it's worked for you, because you're seeing game-changing examples here for the agents and loan officers using the tool, but also when you think downstream about the impact on consumers, this is a game changer, and we should be telling this story. So with that, sorry, to the DPR team, any other questions or trends? I see Will's on too. Will, Veronica, Keith, anything you guys want to address?
Hey, Sean, really quick. Sorry, it's Mel again. I'm occupying everybody's time here, but somebody posted in chat that they found their link on their MLS, created a flyer while listening, and posted on social.
Love it. We want to, let's follow that. We want to know what happens with that. So yeah, reach out to us. Please reach out to us at info@downpaymentresource.com. We know you guys are busy and you're trying to bring in business, but maybe we can help by getting you some PR if we just know that story and we can figure out how to tell it and where to tell it. Sorry, I'm going to keep distracting us from Q&A here. Raul, I see your question as well. If I understand the question, I think we use a service called Mailgun to deliver the leads. But as far as notifying you that it has arrived, that might be a different question. So maybe we can chat about that offline. So Will, Keith, Veronica, anything else we need to address? Any trends, any questions you want to pull out?
No, sir.
There's been a few questions, Sean, regarding just learning about DPA programs in general. And I do want to remind everyone that part of our webinars that we host is DPA 101. And I believe the link was put in the chat, but a great opportunity just to kind of sit in to learn a little bit more about all the programs that are possibly available. So just wanted to throw that out there.
Yeah, guys, join DPA 101 if you want like a crash course on DPA. And Will presents that often. That's who that was. He presents that often. You get great insight and not too deep, right? Just a confidence level and a competence level and comfort about these programs and how they work. And I'm seeing some questions flow through chat that get answered in that webinar. We encourage you to join that. That's a deep dive into the sort of logistics of down payment assistance. Anything else, Keith? Anything you want to address?
Hey, Sean, nothing here. I just appreciate everybody, being with us today and asking the great questions. So thank you.
Okay, good deal. I'll leave it at that then. We're at the top of the hour. So info@downpaymentresource.com if you have any further questions. And I'm sort of imploring at this point, but we really do want to know your Down Payment Connect story. Maybe it's just a case study about one transaction, or Maybe it's the way that it's been successful for you on social media over the last 6 months. Or maybe it's what you were able to accomplish when you first posted it, like some of you have literally done on this webinar. Please reach out to us and tell us that story. And for those of you that have provided your contact info in chat, we will also reach out to you to get that story from you. Thank you all for your support. I hope this has been helpful. Raul, once more, we love what you guys are doing in Texas, you and your team. Thank you for joining us today and for letting us share your story. Have a wonderful day, guys, and we will talk to you soon.